You guys ready?
Yes.
Strap on your seatbelts, you guys. You know, this couple, well, especially DeeDee, I'm sure she'll probably tell a story, but met them across the kitchen table. Literally. Like that's, we became great friends over the last, 13 years now? I think it's been over 13 years. And they're direct SMDs. They're direct SMDs. So they were a training appointment for friends of theirs that we recruited into the business, and they were doing a practice appointment, and I was on a KTP getting edified as the stud trainer, and the potential prospects, so potential clients were Alex and DeeDee, and now you fast forward 13 years later, and they're SMDs, they're the ring earners, they have an incredible family, just all around. I mean, these guys have been great, and I'm lucky, well myself, but we are all lucky to have them in our organization, honestly. So she's got some great stuff. Don't let Alex fool you. They do say behind every great man there's a great woman, right? And so, but they are a power couple. So I want you guys to give a big round of applause to SMD DeeDee Cardenas.
All right, good evening.
Good evening.
Wow. I'm fired up. I'm excited. I'm a little nervous, but I'm so happy to be here. I'm happy to be back in this office with my husband, and I want to thank Nick and Anissa for trusting me enough and honoring me to be able to speak with you guys tonight. It's really comes down to trust, but I'm happy to be here, happy to go over some things with you, but I want to first talk to you a little bit about the belief that we have in this office, the belief that we have in the leaders of this office. Nick and Anissa are here creating an environment for y'all to be in. And I've come back and seen, what there is here, what there is to work with, and you guys are pretty sharp people. And so I know in conversations with Nick and Anissa that they're excited about the people that we have here in this office, but we need to grow, right? We can all agree on that, right?
Yes.
We need to grow this office. And so I'm fired up if I can, be a part of that. I consider it a blessing, really. And to, just a little bit about Nick and our relationship. I mean, he's the best. I'm sitting in this room right now, listening to him and the passion and the conviction that he has to send a message to you guys. I hope you're appreciative of that, right? You all, even through recognition and announcements, you all should be having your books out, off your phones, having your books out and taking notes, right? Because the energy that this man gives you is deserving of that, right? Your CEO, I didn't realize until tonight how much I miss, the passion that he has for this business and this office. And I can just say that I hope you absorb that. I hope you absorb that passion and really have a fire for this business. When you walk in that door, have that sense of urgency to come in here, to grow and to develop and to just then one day be the one up here, right? Because if you walk in the office, you know, dragging, are you ever gonna have that energy to deliver a message, right? And you're learning from the best, I think. I grew up in his base shop, and I consider that really, really a blessing for my husband and myself. Just a little bit about us. He told you that we met 13 years ago in my house for a training appointment for our best friends. I didn't want to come out of the room. I know he's told that story before about me not wanting to come out of the room because I didn't want to face what we were about to face. You know, going over our finances, going over, you know, I didn't know anything about our finances. My husband did everything. So he took care of the finances, but he also carried the burden. And we were one of those families that were,
Nostril?
what?
What, nostril above the waterline?
Yeah, living a life of, you know, desperation, and my husband, and I'm very proud of the fact that my husband is 25-year veteran. He was in the Coast Guard, the United States Coast Guard, for 25 years, and he worked for us. He supported our family through all that, but it wasn't easy. We raised 4 kids, and I was a dental assistant for 20 years. And I worked when I needed to. I had that privilege of being able to work when I needed to. If I was having a baby, I stayed home. I was able to do that because my husband worked hard for us. But then, when you, by the time you have 4 children, life starts to happen, you know, bills start to pile up. I wasn't working full time, but we were just drowning. We were drowning. And I didn't want to go out of come out of my room, you know, to help my husband. Then finally he said, he's not going to start until you come in the room. Now come out there. Because Nick was like, well, okay, I can wait, right? So he waited for me to come out of the room because he has standards, right? We all, in our business, we have certain things that we do, certain things that we don't do, certain expectations, certain standards that we have to live up to in order to grow a business. And he wasn't going to be there to waste his time and just talk to Alex, because a lot of the times, you know, it takes both the couple, or both the people to make a decision, right? So fast forward, I came out of the room, he, you know, did his presentation. I was blown away. I was humbled because I had to face some things that were happening in our life, right? Living paycheck to paycheck, not being able to provide everything my kids wanted. They had things they needed, but sometimes it was, you know, son, can we do the clearance tennis shoes instead of, you know, the $200 ones that he really wanted? So we were in that stage where we were just, you know, living above water. We had a pool in the backyard. We had beautiful cars in the front yard. We had a beautiful house, but behind closed doors, we weren't making it happen, right? So Nick does his presentation, and I say, hey, is this something my husband can do? And Alex instantly turned his head and like, what are you talking about? I work a full-time job. He was commuting every day from San Pedro, the Coast Guard station in San Pedro, and he looked at me like, are you crazy? And then, so fast forward, we got into the business. He says, I'm not gonna do this unless you do it with me. And I'm gonna tell you, that made a big difference in our business, because he was working part-time. I mean, he was working full-time in Long Beach and part-time in WFG. And I was, you know, running our business. So I was prospecting, putting him in front of people, taking care of, back then we had paper apps and we had to mail them, and you know, I was doing all that stuff. yeah, so that's our story. And then it just got started, and we were thinking, well, all we want to do is earn, you know, $2,000 to $3,000 a month, maybe $2,000. That would be great, right? To get ahead. But that quickly, you know, we started making money, and then it's just kind of snowballed into a wonderful business. And the reason why I think so is because we had very high standards of they had high standards of us. They expected high expectations, but we also had high standards of ourselves. Like, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna do it right. And we're gonna do it the way we're trained to do it. At first, trust me, I went off, I think I was a little pain in your eye, that wanted to go, that wanted to sometimes do it my way, right? I ran a dental office. I managed a dental office. I was in the business, you know, I took care of things. I knew business, but I didn't know this business, right? So somebody might work previously at Costco or wherever. You may know that business, but you really don't know this business.
That's true.
Especially in the beginning. You have to really trust your CEO, your SMD, whoever brought you into the business. You have to trust them and what they're doing is best for you. Okay? You get that?
Yes.
Now, I forgot in the beginning of my talk, I wanted to ask permission to be very direct, and I've already been that. So I'm gonna already ask you again. When I talk to you, I'm talking to you because, and I don't want to hurt your feelings when I speak to you. I don't want to scare you away, but I also want to know that if you don't do what you're asked to do in this business, you're gonna fail. It's gonna be harder. You may not fail, but it's gonna be harder. And why not make it easier on yourself from the beginning or from this point forward than to try and, paddle and catch up, right? Just do what you're asked to do. Do what your upline asks of you, because it's only for your own good. If you really feel like somebody's doesn't have your best interest at heart, then talk to your CEO. But from this point on, I want you to, if you can commit to that, if you can commit to taking these trainings, getting not your phone, get your journal out and write everything down, even from recognition, from the beginning of recognition, because your CEO said something very important in the beginning of this training. Can anybody, just off the top of your head, remember what one line he said earlier?
I am a builder.
Okay. I am a builder. That's great. I wrote that down. I am a builder. The builder makes the most money. But what hit me the most is greatness is in your future.
Yeah.
What? Do you believe that? Greatness is in your future. I tell my godson all the time, because he's 15 years old, and throughout his life I've always learned from the WFG to talk to him this way. That you have greatness in your future. Do you believe it? You have to believe that. If you don't believe it, just build your business. What is the saying, Melissa? The belief. If you don't have belief in yourself,
How do you expect others?
how do you? No, that's not the one, but that's true. Draw on the belief of others. All right?
Yeah.
Do you think Lupe believes in you?
Yes.
Yes. So if you don't believe in yourself enough right now, somebody here in this company or in this office believes in you. All right? So we're gonna go forward here. I have a couple of things I'm gonna do with you today. You heard a little bit about our story. We didn't become SMDs right away, but we never stopped working at it, right? Once you become an SMD, this business really opens up to you, but you have to work hard, right? a little bit about, I wanted tonight to maybe get in touch with our wives again, okay? So real quick, we're gonna do this little exercise, and I'm gonna have you, get in touch, write down your whys on this card, okay? Can you pass those back? Can you guys pass those back? Now remember when you did your fast start, you wrote down 3 whys. Those might be the same, they may be different now, right? As the longer you're in this business, your whys are gonna change. When we started in the business, I remember writing down my whys. The main one was I wanted peace in my family. Now, how does that relate to this business? I didn't know at the time. I just knew that our finances were kind of destroying our family. The way we were living, paycheck to paycheck, Alex and I would fight over money all the time. But I wanted peace, so that was my number one. I wanted to be financially independent. I didn't want to have to report to a job. I wanted to take care of my kids at home, right? At the time I was working, running a dental office in Escondido. I was commuting back and forth, back and forth. So I wanted time with my family. I wanted peace in my family. And I wanted to create a business for Alex and I to do together. Because he was looking at retirement from the Coast Guard. And we didn't know what we were gonna do. I thought I was just gonna, once he stopped working, I thought I was gonna go to work and work forever, right? That didn't happen because of WFG. I have freedom of my time. I have freedom to be with my family whenever I want to. And we have, the kind of money we need to be making to support the lifestyle that we want right now. Could always be better, right? Our dreams and goals can change. That's why I'm saying your goals can possibly change right now. Okay, when you're done, is anybody done with your whys? Can you just put them in this little bag? It's okay. Are some of these the same whys as when you started the business, or has somebody's changed? Anybody else? Let's see. Awesome. Thank you.
Should we write our name on it?
No. We're gonna just I'm gonna hand them back. Can you hand them back for me? Some over here, some over here. And if you don't get yours, that's okay. I just want you to read somebody else's why.
Oh, I got my own.
I'll write with my
So
Okay, we got-
Got 2 over here, we don't have.
we need more over here. Is that yours?
I need one.
Who needs one? Hey, making me run around in my heels. Okay, here we go. That one? Okay. Anybody? Oh, babe, give yours to Anthony. I took yours. Okay, I'll give you that one. Okay, who wants to read out loud what card they got? Anthony, go ahead.
So this one says, why do you have $500 million, $500,000 saving, be free to travel?
So 500,000, in the bank and free to travel.
So this one, no financial stress, better financially, to be better financially in the future and to control time and their income.
Matt?
Build a sanctuary for endangered species, travel around the world, take care of my whole family.
That's big, right?
Looking around.
Nick?
Because I love to help people and I know these products help people. I want a different career and to never have to retire.
Never have to retire? Helping people. Anybody else?
Contribute to make the world a better place to live in and leave a legacy so my family can continue the crusade.
I love that. Al?
Says to build a family legacy, I want my last name to mean something. But to be stone cold financially independent, 100 million net.
Wow. Yes.
Says I want to be financially independent, and I want freedom of my time, and I want time with my family.
Yes.
I want this opportunity to not only become a better person, but also a great leader.
Anybody else want to read that real quick?
Influence, impact, being a outlander.
An outlander? Tell me what's an outlander? Do you know?
What is it? Is it outlier? Or, I didn't want to say liar.
Maybe Outlier. There's a book called The Outliers.
Oh,
Okay. Okay. Put them back in there, please. Did you read yours?
No, this is for my granddaughter, family, and for me.
So the reason I had you do this is because every time you walk in that door, every time you walk out the door, all day long, you should be in touch with your wives. Because that's what moves us. That's what motivates us. That's what's gonna push us to do the things we have to do. What does G call it, the dirty? It's not always fun to be out there, but you gotta make it fun. You gotta push yourself and know your whys every day. And just do what you're asked to do here, right? Because I think I learned very quickly that if I did what I was asked to do here, I could succeed. Where else can you really make enough money to build a sanctuary for animals?
Awesome.
I mean, really? And you can do that kind of stuff here. There's been, leaders in the company that have gone out and, built orphanages and built homes and for the homeless people, or, just started their own charities. You can do pretty much whatever you want, whatever your mind can imagine, and your job here is to increase that vision, right? And that's why you come here every day. Every BPM or come into work, is that you want to stretch your vision and go after those dreams and goals. But there's work behind it. And I talked to, I had a conversation with somebody here last Tuesday, and about what they're doing in their business. And one of the things I asked him was about the people that you meet. How many numbers a day do you get? What do you do with those numbers? When do you call them? What's your system? Does anybody have a system every day for building your business? Raise your hand. Okay, so some of these people here in the front row have a system in place that they follow daily, and that's what I wanna talk to you about today, okay? One, let's kind of recap. I want you to know the leadership that you have here. I want you to be excited every time you walk in those doors, and every time you walk out of them, be just as excited to build your business, okay? Would you agree that people are important in this industry?
Yes.
Right? We're not in a business where we're in technology or we sit behind a computer, we don't have to talk to people, but we do in this business, correct?
Yes.
Can we also agree that not everybody's comfortable with that process?
Yes.
Can we also agree that you've done things in your lifetime that you have been uncomfortable doing, but then because of either necessity or desire, you became comfortable in that area,
Yes.
right? You go to work, you're nervous, you get a new job. My daughter started a new job recently. And she's just so nervous to start to take the interview, let alone she got hired, and she's like, oh my gosh, I got hired, now what am I gonna do? I gotta talk to people. Yes, you do, daughter, yes, you do. Right? That's what you applied for. That's what you know. So people, we can agree that people are important. Are people in your family important?
Yes.
Yes.
Right? Could you do some of the things you've done in your lifetime without your family?
No.
Your parents, your brothers and sisters, your aunts and uncles. People are important, right? Your marriage, your spouse, your girlfriends, you know, your children, yeah. Your parents probably give you guys a lot, you young, I'm looking at the young guys here, give you a lot of credit for them becoming who they are as parents. Sometimes our children make us grow up. Our children make us, you know, buckle down and get serious about life. Our children make us keep our jobs, that kind of stuff. So people are so important in this business as well. You cannot, I hope I'm okay to say this, you cannot succeed here without people in your business. It's just a plain fact, and I'm gonna share something with you. Alex and I have been in business quite a while, and sometimes the people that have come into our business, you're just like, oh, it's hard. My husband was like, I don't want to deal with people. I love this business, but I don't want to deal with people. And I told him, Alex, you may not want to deal with people. I don't always want to deal with people. And some of the shenanigans that goes on in there, you know, oh, I don't want to go through it, but sometimes you have an associate that just gives you grief, like sometimes like I did with Nick, right? I gave him grief. I wanted things my way. I didn't want to listen to him. I'd say, oh, it's not working. And he'd go, yes, it is, DeeDee. It's going to work. You just got to put in the work. But I had a conversation with my husband and I said, Alex, we can't worry about those people. We can't worry about people that are, give us grief. We got to worry about the people that need our help. We got to worry about the people that will help us build our business. And I told them, everybody comes into this business for a purpose. And if we look at that way, then it gives us, gives us hope, gives us strength to just keep going. Because knowing the fact that people are counting on us, people need the opportunity. People need more money. We're here for a reason, and you got to find out what that is. Who are you here to help? Is it somebody you're going to meet tomorrow? Is it somebody you're going to meet in a month? Is it somebody you already know that you need to talk to about this business? I got to a point where I just started talking to everybody. I'd be out shopping with my kids, and I want to show you my why. First, let me show you real quick my why. It went away. That's in La Jolla, the day after my first daughter's wedding. My son's probably taking the picture. I have a 20-year-old son, turned 20 yesterday, my baby. But that's my family, those are my grandchildren in there. And that's why we do this business. That's why we were able to give my daughter the wedding of her dreams, literally, at the hotel, the El Cortez down in San Diego. And it was beautiful. She's kind of, not goth, she's not goth, but she likes kind of dark. She's an officer in the United States Coast Guard as well. Both my son and my daughter are, but we were able to give her a wedding paid cash. We weren't gonna get in debt over it because we just didn't want to do that. We have a better mentality. And money that came, from WFG helped us pay for that wedding, right? This summer we took a trip with all my family to Orlando. And we would not have been able to do that if, money, we get money from the Coast Guard, but if money wasn't coming in from WFG, right? To live out our dreams. It was my dream to give my daughter the wedding she wanted. And we did that. There's other things too. I can't go through it all, but that's my why right there. And I just want to talk to you about how do we bring these people into our lives? How do we build a business? Because that's what you're here for. Where does it start? What's that?
With your why?
Starts with your why, but then what's the first step? Okay, everybody. Yes, yes. So everybody, take out your BFS and your prospect list. Does anybody have their prospect list with them right now?
Yes.
It's in your office. Yes, and Nick has his. Okay, everybody, who does not have, and I'm not doing this to call you out or, make a show of you, but who does not have their BFS or their prospect list with them right now? Raise your hands high. This is how we raise our hands, right? So I can see. Okay.
Who does not?
This is do not. Who does not? Okay. I'm gonna tell you right now, that's your lifeline. Your BFS. Your BFS and your prospect list is your lifeline. I was talking to a gentleman here I was talking to Carlos, right? Chris, sorry. Chris, I was talking to Chris, I'm nervous, Chris, last week, and I was telling them, when he prospects, what does he do with his numbers, and what's his system, what's his process, we all have to have this system. I had a prospect system when I was prospecting. I would get 10 numbers a day. Well, I was still prospecting. I get 10 numbers a day, and I value those numbers, right? Because that's my lifeline. And so I put them in this binder here, right? Here's my, Nick has one.
Yeah.
This is like my lifeline. This goes everywhere with me. If I go to the office, I don't come to the office without it. Because what if tonight we were all supposed to make calls? Then we didn't have our lifeline with us, right? This is numbers that I've gotten over my career here in WFG, and I have them all. And look at this particular page. I just turned to any page. Oh. You see green, 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 green?
Hold it up. There you go.
Green, 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 green. Here's my little system. If they came to the BPM, I would highlight them in yellow. If I got a code number, I'd put it in green. if I had to follow up with them, I'd put it in pink. Like sometimes they say, oh, in 6 months, maybe in 6 months I'll be ready. So if I put pink on there, highlighted it in pink, that would mean I'd follow up in later times, in 6 months. But I wanted to show you this because this is your lifeline. You go out, you work really hard to get a number. We went out the other day, trying on dresses for a wedding, for Elijah's wedding this weekend, and I got numbers. And I stuck them in the shopping bag. And I was like, oh gosh, I gotta get those numbers out of that shopping bag. I gotta get the shopping bag out of the car because what if I lose the numbers? That's how I treat my numbers. Do you treat your numbers like that? So I went and got them, and instantly I recorded them. Record my numbers so that when I sit down to make calls, I have them, right? And when I sit down to make calls, I have this binder, because what else am I gonna do? Put them in my phone? What if I lose my phone? What if my phone dies? Or what if I only have 2% battery when on Monday Night Phone Zone? Which has happened to me a few times. And I'm sure it's happened to y'all. I'm just saying, I would like you to have a system in place so that you can build your business to the best of your ability. It may be old school, maybe on paper, but I'm telling you, it works. And I can just eyeball through, go eyeball my list and see my green lines, and it fires me up.
Yeah.
It fires me up to see green. Look at, a top 25 should be 2.5 days worth of work. 10 numbers a day. You go out there, you knock them out, and this is what you're gonna look like. Some months you have one, this isn't a month's worth, but sometimes you just, one sheet, you just have one recruit, right? Oh shoot, I hope I can find it. I have a sheet here that, oh, it's here because I highlighted it today. It's a prospect sheet with one of my recruits, Peter. That month I only recruited Peter, or that sheet I only recruited Peter. Only one recruit off this sheet. But that guy exploded our business. Would you agree, Alex?
Yes.
Yeah.
I asked Alex, I said, I'm gonna go get that guy's number. He goes, no, I wanna go. We were prospecting like, oh, I'm not throwing you under the bus, I'm sorry. But we were tired.
Right now.
No, I'm saying this for a reason, because we were prospecting all day long. We were prospecting all day long, and we were ready to go. And I said, oh, one more guy, he's just right there. I had to chase that guy down throughout Walmart, in the aisles, and he was on the phone with his wife. And he's in the Marines, he's deployed right now, but he helped us build a great business.
Mm-hmm.
We had recruit, and then I was looking at our numbers, and shortly after we recruited him, our numbers went from like recruiting, 9 or 8 a month or 3 a month to recruiting 20, 30, 40 recruits in a month. What would your business look like if you talked to one guy, 2 guys, because we had 2 Marines in our business. One has since passed, but they helped us build a great business, right? What would 40 recruits do for your business right now? Because if you just talk to one person or 2 people, that's an explosion that we never expected. That's an explosion that we didn't think we knew how to handle. But you know when you start handling, you know when you learn, is right now. By the time we were recruiting 30, 20, 30, 40 people a month, we knew how to deal with it because we did the dirty, right? We had the 1s trickle in, the 2 recruits trickle in, the 3 recruits, right? Now is when you prepare yourself for that explosion, and it's gonna happen. So what I want to tell you is I want you to have a system in place to then be able to grow your business, grow yourselves, so that when that explosion happens, when you talk to that one recruit that you didn't want to talk to, or you didn't want to, deal with, he was on his phone, Alex is, sorry. He's on his phone, let's just go. No, I'm going to talk to him. I'm going to wait till he's on his phone. You know what I did? He wasn't going to get off his phone. So I said, excuse me, I know you're on the phone right now, but can I talk to you for a second? I did not let that phone call stop me from talking to him. I know you're on the phone right now, but can I talk to you for a second? And he says, babe, this lady's stopping me in Walmart right now. She wants to talk to me. I'm gonna have to I'll call you right back. And he goes, here, say hi to my wife. I said, hi. I said, I'm so sorry. I go, I know you're on the phone, but I'll just take a second. And that was it. And they hung up and we talked. I got his number. What I want you to know is that it just takes one to change the face of your business. It takes one number. You don't know which one. You don't know which number is going to be an explosion for your business, right? Do we? Otherwise, we would just call that one number. You got to do it all. You got to get a ton of numbers. You got to make a ton of calls, and you got to keep track of your business. I brought some paperwork, some little sheets to show you. Let me see if I'm on track to what I was. Let's put this away. So I was saying that it just takes one, right? So I kind of want to know, just real quick, how do you all prospect? Because I showed you how I prospect. We prospect sometimes in Walmart. We did a lot of kind of innovative gas stations down in Temecula. Did we? Right? We would just go out in carloads and take turns getting a number at a gas station. It was fun. We made it fun. We made it exciting. We were blowing up the office by doing that, right?
Yeah.
At the time. I see on WeChat that Anthony will go prospecting and he'll say, hey, I'm over here prospecting. Let's all get together. Who wants to join me? That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. You got to be out there, fired up, sense of urgency, getting those numbers because you don't know who's going to be your explosion, right? So how do y'all prospect here? What are different ways of prospecting? Let me see. Okay, I'm going to call on you just a moment. One of the ways we prospect our warm market, right?
Yes.
Excuse my writing, I'm a lefty.
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel.
Okay, warm market. What's another one?
At the golf course.
You at the golf course?
Yeah, at the golf.
Okay, so do you work at the golf course?
No, I play.
Okay, so you prospect on the golf course.
So with my group, people who happen to be playing, we usually, we jump around holes. I go to LA and
Awesome.
just
Okay.
constantly meeting people.
So is that the only place you prospect?
I'll drag lift as well.
Dragon lift?
Driving lift.
Oh, lift.
Yes.
Okay.
I was joking.
Uh,
Oh, what is that? Sounds exciting.
cool.
Yeah, oh, look at. Where's that at?
Okay,
Let's go.
what else? How else do we prospect?
Social media.
Social media, at the mall.
At a KTP.
That's how I was prospected.
Home Depot.
KTPs. So that's called recruiting over the kitchen table, right? You're done. Oh, shoot. Okay.
You're good. You're good.
Walmart.
You're
Okay.
good.
So on we go.
So as you go, sometimes we don't have, we don't make the time to go prospecting because we're busy, family, just different events, weddings, whatever we do. So that's called as you go. Okay? So,
Running errands.
yeah, running errands. So I just want you guys to know that no matter what you're doing, prospecting should be on your mind. He's golfing, he's thinking, who can I talk to on this golf course? There's wealthy people here. There's people that may not be satisfied with their jobs. So I should talk to everybody and let them know a little bit about what I'm doing, right? So how to prospect is another conversation. I just want you to get prospecting. I want you to get out and be getting it done. 10 names minimum a day. If you're full-time here in this office, there's no reason why you shouldn't be getting 10 numbers a day. Logging them, having a system in place to where you record. I'm going to give you a little worksheet. Please give me back whatever's not used. And you may not have enough. Pass them back. This is what I use. I kind of customized it because Don, you can do it however you want to. You can make your own. You can, they have extras. You can make your own. Just do it this way. So what I do, look at my prospect list, guys. I'll give you one if you don't have one. I put their name, phone number, the date I met them, the date I scheduled them to come into BPM, what they do, their occupation, and any notes I have when I'm making calls, I want to put them there. Because if it says follow up in 6 months, I'm going to highlight that pink, right? When they come to the office, if I invited them, if I scheduled them, I'm going to put them, if they come to the office, I'm going to put them in yellow. And once they become an associate, I highlight them in green over that. Okay? It's just a little system I have. But y'all need to make a system, create a system that works for you. On paper, and no offense to the millennials here in this room or whatever you are, this will work for you. It's a visual, it's you can touch it, it's tangible, it's something that you can then be proud of. This is your work, this is your daily work here. This is what's gonna help you build your business. This is your lifeline. So if you lose your lifeline, if you drop your phone in the toilet, there it goes. There goes your business. Yes.
What would you say then would be for a part-time person? What would you recommend they do?
I would say 10, but that's just me. After you recruit 40 people, you know what it takes. You and your team recruit 40 people, you know what it takes. So I say 10.
For a part-timer?
Well, I'm just saying. You come in contact with people at work. Okay, if you want me to say 5, I'll say 5. But really, the faster you, I'm serious. The faster you fill out this top 25, the better. If you're full-time, do you work on the weekends? Do you work 7 days a week? Do you go to church? What do you do with your time when you're not working? I told Chris, I don't go home till I have 10. What do you mean you don't go, oh wow, you don't go home till you have 10? No, what's your standard? Only you can decide for yourself what your standard is, right?
Yeah.
If your standard is 8, then do 8, but do not go home until you've got 8. If you're working here, if you're part-time, you're working, and your standard is 5 for yourself, And that's stretching you, because every day we have to stretch ourselves to grow in this business. Mentally and physically, stretch yourself. So if 5 is stretching you, then do 5. It's gonna, it's gonna take you 5 days to fill this. But do it, but fill it every day. If you're full-time here, who's full-time here? No less than 10 numbers a day. Don't go home. I told Chris, don't go home. Stop at a gas station on your way home. Get those final 2. Because that could be the 2 that explode your business. It's just a discipline that you have to have. And I think that because we were disciplined, we were able to grow a business, an exciting, wonderful business. And if that's what you want for yourself, because of your whys, for your family, mine's my family, mine was peace. I wanted peace. I didn't want to argue with this man anymore about money. I love him. I didn't want to argue. Oh, go back. I didn't want to. I don't want him to get all confident.
Say it again.
I didn't want to be arguing with him every day over money, and I didn't want to be arguing every day over the business. So we had to learn. We had to learn the business. We had to learn how to work together. We had to go through a lot, guys. We're still learning. But if you don't start somewhere, if you don't start with your BFFs, step 1, prospecting, how then are you going to write an app? Why learn the products? I mean, I know that might be a little bit shocking to y'all. Some of you, we've had people on our teams that are just so product oriented. All they want to do is learn about the details of every product, but they won't go out and get a number to eventually show them the product. Right?
Show them the product too.
Or build their team, or talk to somebody to their family about the products. You got to start here and discipline yourselves. It just takes a little bit of discipline. And I'm going to tell you, you have all the support that you need here in this office. You have people who have done it before. You have people that are doing it now. You have people that are successful in doing prospecting. And yes, it'll take a little bit of getting used to. Sometimes our palms, some of you might have sweaty palms when you're about to approach somebody. But we'll talk about that, I'm sure, in the future on what to say, how to do it, how to approach. I always introduce myself. Hi, I'm DeeDee. I always introduce myself. I don't walk up to somebody and say, hey, you look sharp. I always introduce myself first. So we can go over those things and how to do it, but you got to get the mindset of why you're doing it. Why do I need to go out and prospect? All your whys were listed down. And you got to hold on to that, right? We believe in you. I know Nick and Anissa believe in you. I know that, Reggie, I know the leaders in this office believe in who is here in this room right now and whoever's not in here. It's just a matter of time before you find your greatness that Nick talked about. It's going to happen. But you have to have the mindset and the determination, the discipline, and the excitement to go out every day and just meet people. I don't care if somebody says no to me. Do you think I care? I don't care anymore. I used to care. I used to get my feelings hurt. I used to say, oh my gosh, I can't do this. We've all done that. But right now, I don't care. You know why I don't care? Because I might help that person like they helped me. Our life is different now. The experiences that we've been able to give my children, they're different now. One of my daughters wanted her whole life to ride a dolphin, to swim with the dolphins. Since she was little, she wanted to swim with the dolphins, and I could always say, no, I can't do that. We can't afford that. Steffi, I'm so sorry, but we can't do that. Her 18th birthday, we were making money here in WFG already. We were like, our business was awesome. And I told Alex, I know, we're in the business of making and saving money, but I want to take Stephanie swimming with the dolphins. So when things come up like that, that's what we do. We're in the business of making and saving money, but we're also in the business of creating memories, creating experiences in our family life.
Making someone's dreams come true.
Making someone's dreams come true. And we took her to SeaWorld, and she was like, yay, we're here for my birthday for SeaWorld. But then we took her over to the dolphin thing experience, and she was, I go, here, baby, and I packed a bag for her with her, a little stuffed dolphin in there, and her bathing suit and everything she needed to go swim with the dolphins. And she just instantly just started, she's like me, she's a baby, a little crier. And she instantly started crying. She goes, what? What are you, I go, Mommy, you're gonna swim with the dolphins now. And she was like, no, really? She goes, Mom, and she looked at her dad and she just wrapped her arms around her dad and just gave him love, and she was just so excited. What would it mean to you to be able to do something like that? What would it mean to be able to give your child, when you do have children, or your child now, the wedding of their dreams? What would it mean to take your children on a cruise whenever they were out of school? That's what we do. WFG cruises, or cruises on our own, whatever it takes, whatever we need to do. We qualified for Europe. All expenses paid, and we didn't go because my son was graduating from high school
That week, yeah.
that week. And people were saying, what? Why aren't you going? Are you crazy? You have an all expense paid to Europe through WFG. We didn't go because I wanted to make my son's dream come true of him walking across the stage like his 3 older brothers and sisters did, and have that experience. See, we don't always have to create that, big experience. It could just be that, where he felt, hey, my mom's willing to do that. Call me crazy, I don't know. Now he's 20 and he says, Mom, why didn't you make me go to Europe? Why didn't you make us go? And I said, son, that's what you wanted, right? So I'm just here to tell you that whatever you want, your dreams can come true, but it's got to start somewhere, and you got to put in the work. And so periodic, who really thinks that after today you could be disciplined to do something like this? Okay, we raise our hands like this, but that shows me that you're excited. But don't tell me that you're willing to do it if you're not. Because, if you're not, and I told somebody this too, if you're not willing to do it, okay, that's fine if you don't want to build a business. If you don't want your business to grow, if you can find a better way and your business is flourishing, then do that. But do something to move your business forward. Can you do 5 numbers a day? Who can do 10 numbers a day? Just make it happen. Because those apps, we can stand here all day, train you on how to do an app, how to write an app. But really, those apps only come from the people that we talk to. Right? Okay. I am, as you can see, I don't know how I come off. I worry about that sometimes. I worry if I come off a little too strong, a little too you know, in your face, but I really genuinely want all of you to win. You guys have done nothing but treat us kindly since we've been in this office, and when we've come in here for BPMs and training, I've come to, you know, appreciate y'all, and I want you to win. If I come up to you and say, Anthony, show me your prospect list, it's not to confront you or make you feel inferior or to make you feel embarrassed if you don't have it. It's only because I know that's the way to win, right?
Yeah.
Your upline should be holding you accountable. Your upline should be holding you accountable. There's nothing wrong with being held accountable. Nick did it for us, and we had a lot of success. We've had a lot of success here in this business, and he's still holding us accountable. Just because you hit SMB doesn't mean you turn a blind eye or a deaf ear to your upline. We still are held to high standards. So when he holds y'all to high standards, or when Reggie holds you to high standards, know that it's for your own good, the good of your business, the good of your future, the greatness in your future. Okay? All right, I hope that I brought some value to you guys. Yes,
Just real quick,
Melissa.
for those of you, like, she's talking about our business format system manual. That is not available anymore, although.
Oh, no, this isn't, but this is.
But our system manual. I do have some of those. I have a system manuals for sale. They're $10. If anybody wants them, you can order them online, but you have to pay. Shipping is incredible, so.
Oh, yeah.
If you want one, I do have
Get
some.
one from Melissa. This is your business right here, right? This is our system. I've talked to you a little bit about this system, a prospecting system. Just like Nick said, we have different teams, right? We have a Momentum Monday team, we have a BPM team, we have a Phone Zone team, where you have different systems in place to help you build your business. So get serious and get this. I want to see chairs to the back of the room. Standing room only. And it starts with you guys here, that are here tonight, because you know what's expected of you, right?
Yep.
How would your business look if you had 6 guys sitting back there in those chairs? If you had 6, if you had 6, if you had 6, if you had 2, if you had 3, how would you feel about, would you walk in like this? Or would you walk in like this for your team, for your business? Right? You'd be excited. So, love you all. Want the best for you. I really do. Alex and I are here to help you in any way we can, to help Reggie, to help Nick, whatever we can do. If you just want to talk, if you just want to pick our brains, whatever. I saw a couple of you picking my husband's brain. You know, I just love to say that this man right here, yes. Reggie, did you train with?
Yeah.
Did you train with Alex?
Yes.
He took you out on some crazy. You took him on some crazy training appointments, haven't you? He's there for you. Those are stories for another time. But he has a lot of knowledge, as does Nick. I mean, I can't even, we're still, picking his brain. We're still wanting to grab on what we can to learn more, to be at the next level. So you have it here at your fingertips. Take advantage of it. Take advantage of it. Not in a bad way, but you know what I mean. Utilize the everything that you have here at your fingertips. Utilize the systems here. Okay? So I appreciate you all.